lot of shady shit happening right now, and it's kind of crazy. Hey guys, so a lot of you guys have been messaging me, asking me, because a lot of you plan to move to Korea and you don't really know what's happening. So I wanted to kind of air out the dirty laundry and tell you what's been happening, spill that tea. As you guys know, I talked about it in a previous video about what's been going on and how I've been actually really lucky in my situation. I've been working pretty normally this whole time. I never really actually got a break, which was weird because it seemed like everyone else was on this break and I just missed that memo. But I was just kind of business as usual. The only difference is that I'm now teaching kind of a mix of online classes and also in-person classes. For other people, it's really not been this case. So when this first started happening, a lot of teachers were pulling midnight runs because they were scared for their health. They were already fed up with their schools and they're just like, you know what, it's not worth it, I'm gonna go home. When it started getting more serious, hagwons had to close. So when this happened, a lot of people had time off. There's a lot of different layers of like time off. So you had time off, like epic teachers or a few institutions where you time off and you're just getting fully compensated. There were people who were getting partially compensated, and then there are people who are not getting compensated at all for any days closed. What became later established as kind of like the rule,
this rule dates back, the golden rule,
was that if there were 5 full-time employees at your institution, your employer would have to pay you 70% of your paycheck. The big problem was a lot of people found out that their schools pretty much live paycheck to paycheck. So a lot of institutions weren't even able to pay their teachers because there was no kids coming in. So there was no income being generated and there wasn't enough saved in terms of being able to pay overhead, rent, staff, etc, etc. So a lot of people actually, some people had to like, were working and they found out they were working for free because the school wasn't actually generating any money. And when I say that they're working, it was the school was either providing kind of like a free babysitting service, just like maintain reputation, or people were going in to do planning work for the semester. So every school was really different. Then the worst case scenario was people were just straight up fired. They were just let go.
you're fired.
And they were let go for a million reasons. They were let go for the fact that the school didn't have money to pay them. The schools actually just shut down completely themselves because they had no income.
In terms of money, we have no money.
Or people were fighting for their rights in terms of their salary and they were getting let go. This is the problem when you want to fight for your rights, because a school it's really easy to fire you for them. It's not easy for us to just leave and find another job here because we need to be like, they need to give us a letter and then there's like a whole visa process. So a lot of people, they were trying to fight for their at least 70% salary, right? And they weren't able to get it. And a lot of schools thought that it showed a sense of like disrespect and like this, they give you like all these like BS reasons and then they just let you go. A lot of schools made new contracts and with like revisions and all these things about how the wages would be dealt out and all these XYZs. Never just sign something your school gives you. If it's all in Korean, make sure you're getting an English translation of it, right? And that both are being signed. And do not sign them right away. Make sure you are reading everything thoroughly and ask them if you can at least like have some time to like read through before you sign anything. Because again, you have very little rights comparatively, so you want to make sure you're doing what's best for you, but also like understanding what could happen to you by doing that. So just get like a second opinion before you do anything. People are also finding out a lot of shady things that have been going on with their schools because of this situation. They've been finding out that their pension hasn't been regularly paid. So you always want to make sure when you're getting paid that you're getting some sort of like pay slip, and it's usually going to be like some sort of like shoddy Excel sheet, and that's fine, but you want to make sure everything is broken down in your paycheck and you've been getting your salary, you've been getting your health insurance put in, you've been getting your pension taken out. So all those things, like you should have that clearly outlined, because a lot of people are finding out because of this crisis that these things haven't been like done as they thought it was going to be. So that's why it's really important always to get some sort of pay stub from your workplace. Another thing that's been happening is that people have been getting like papers to sign saying that they won't leave their houses. I can like understand why the school does it, because obviously people should be staying home and they don't want people out partying. Do I think that's like an invasion, like an infringement on my personal privacy? Yes. Have people refused to sign it and been fired? Yes. For me personally, I'd want like an end date on it. So a lot of these things that they're making people sign, it's really ambiguous about like when things would happen. And I would say I'd probably like negotiate, like, can I put an end date, you know, every month maybe we'll like we can reevaluate the situation and see how it goes. This whole video you're kind of like, Chen, so basically, are you not a human? Are you just like an animal locked in a cage? If something is clearly illegal, you can report it to what we call the MOEL office. That's the Ministry of Employment and Labor. There's a lot of procedures and lots of paperwork to kind of go through. If you put it out there, they can do something about it, but only if it's actually infringing upon your legal rights. As much as like we color Korea as like a really wonderful place, which it is, obviously, like I love living here. I've been here for a few years now, but there's things that sometimes are that make it really difficult for us. And I don't really want to sugarcoat things for you guys, because there's some harsh realities that you're gonna have to face if you do come here, but just know that there are systems in place. There are people who are here, who have experience, who have advice, and who can help you out. So I don't want to dissuade people from coming or trying to come to Korea. That's really not the case. I want to make sure you guys are well aware of what's happening. That's it. I'm gonna stop talking. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!